Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思吃都很难
It's just complicated. So much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Nian Honglin with Georgia Massad for today's show. Hello, Georgia.
Hello everyone, it's always such a pleasure to be here with you.
It's great to have you here. And I have to say, I noticed you've got a nose ring. Is that a nose ring that you're wearing?
Yes, it is. I actually got it a couple of months ago and I'm not regretting it.
Well, it looks really cool on you because you always strike me as this very sweet and nice and considerate and just, elegant girl. And having this nose ring spices things up for you. It's just good styling, my girl.
Oh, thank you. I think, every one of us has these two personalities that we try to express through clothes, makeup, or maybe even earrings. And I love to see those little details in persons.
Yes, and in China, we sometimes say fashion is a circle. Things come back and you find it trendy, you find it interesting, and you want to do the things in old times once again, and seeing it as something quite impressionable and quite fashionable. And that kind of situation is actually happening in China in a larger scale, in the sense that we're not talking about the kind of fashion trend over 20 years ago, 30 years ago, or even 50 years ago. We are talking about hundreds of years ago, when traditionally, or when ancient Chinese people wear their everyday clothes, and their everyday clothes are turning into the go-to style for a lot of young people in China now. And they even would pair it up with the traditional Chinese makeup and style, and also hair pieces, and also accessories, and the whole set is just stunning. I myself have actually tried different styles of these, we call it hànfú 妆造, traditional Chinese makeup and styling. Hànfú, Han is one of the dynasties here in China, and we know sometimes we also use Hanyu to call Chinese Mandarin. Han is one of the early dynasties, and of course, after the Han Dynasty, there are the Tang Dynasty, the Song Dynasty, and Yuan, Ming, Qing, all these different dynasties. But altogether, when we talk about traditional Chinese clothing, we would say Hanfu. We would say, for example, 明制汉服 is talking about the Ming Dynasty style of the traditional Chinese clothing, and 唐制汉服, it's like talking about the Tang Dynasty ones. So if we're talking about traditional Chinese clothing and makeup and styling, we say 汉服, using this as a way to, as an umbrella term for the traditional Chinese styles.
Oh, hanfu.
Yes, hànfú. So today we are talking about this special way of styling and putting on makeup and finding a different version of yourself. So for our dear listeners, if you're interested in Chinese culture and you want to get a grip on the Chinese language, then this is the show for you. Stick with us for 30 minutes and you soon see the rewards. And for more fun Chinese learning, follow our Facebook page, Learn Chinese, to watch many fun videos and live streams. But now, let's provide you with some free Chinese for takeaway.
哇，这里的汉服都好美啊！我一直都很想试试穿汉服。
那择日不如撞日，今天就来体验一下吧。
好啊，再请化妆师给我画一个漂亮的唐妆。
一定很出片。
That is a funny conversation. And again, we always say this on the show that one day when Georgia is finally here in Beijing, we should repeat that dialogue and experience the fun activity described in the dialogue.
Absolutely. And we have so many to do. But this one in particular, I see us getting ready and having some makeup.
I can totally see that happening. And also, I have to say, you will look gorgeous in traditional Chinese clothing. Take my word for it. In the future, we should do it. And we should also make a short video to show that to our dear listeners out there.
That would be so fun.
Yes. Okay, so for the first sentence, 哇，这里的汉服都好美啊！我一直都很想试试穿汉服。
Wow, the Chinese Hanfu are all so beautiful. I've always wanted to try wearing one.
So, 哇.
Wow.
Okay, I want to ask you, do people actually say wow in their everyday life?
I do.
Oh, you're so sweet and also very expressive. I like that because I feel like in China, I don't see many Chinese people actually saying "wow" in their actual daily life, except for maybe kids. Kids are more expressive. So yeah, this one is more like written on paper, showcasing the excitement or the thrill that the person is expressing or experiencing. But I don't see this "wow" sound happening in life too much.
And what do you say when you're very surprised about something?
I don't get surprised easy. I guess that's why, maybe.
We have to surprise and then we'll know.
Yeah, then we'll know. But why it's more written than, well, but the thing is, if you're actually using it in daily language, people do understand. So that's the pro, at least, yes. And then we have 这里.
这里 here.
汉服.
Our word, so traditional clothing.
You can also just call it hanfu. I think more and more people around the world started to understand hanfu. Yes, because fu is 衣服. Han is talking about the Han people. Here, we're not talking about ethnicity. It's more like the Chinese people, the Han people, kind of hanfu. But needless to say, for the relatively ethnic minorities, there are also a lot of, if not more, very beautiful traditional clothing and their own clothing. It's just, I think it's a topic for next time and also a photo shooting scenario for next time.
Oh, yes, we have to do this.
And 都
are all.
好美呀.
好美呀, very beautiful.
Very, very beautiful. 好美呀. 这里的汉服都好美呀. 我
I
一直
always
都很
always very much
想
wanted to
want to, wish to, yes. 试试
to try, but since it's repeated, I would say to try in a casual way.
Yes, to soften the tone. 穿
to
wear. And in English, I think we would say to put on something and to wear something. In Chinese, we say 穿, except that if you're talking about a hat, when you're wearing a hat, you say 戴. So 穿衣戴帽. 穿 you put on clothes, and 戴帽 you put on hats or caps.
Okay, so it's a different verb.
It's a different verb, yes. 我一直都很想试试穿汉服. And then we have 那择日不如撞日. 今天就来体验一下吧.
There is no time like present. Try experiencing it today.
Yes, and I like your translation. 择日不如撞日. This is actually a saying. It's like a colloquial saying, a set saying. 那 is definitely then, and 择日不如撞日. 择 is like to 选择 or 挑选, so to choose or to select. And 日 is the day. 不如 means
not as good as.
Yes, and 撞.
To bump into something or run into.
Yes, to run into something, bump into something. And we know 日 is day. So to select the day is not as good as bump into a day. So choosing a day is not as good as bumping into this day. It means that instead of waiting for a perfect timing or a auspicious day to do a certain thing, it's actually better to just seize the opportunity, seize the moment, and just do it.
It's true, we have the same saying, but I feel it's not the same. It's carpe diem from Latin. But yes, the bump into a day expresses better instead of catching the day.
Yes. And the funny thing is, we are using this not to express the seize the day kind of connotation. It's more like when you're making an appointment with someone, you're trying to set a date to do certain things together. Or, for example, you haven't been traveling for quite a long time and you wanted to travel so badly. And all of a sudden, you find that there's a little bit of free time in your calendar and you didn't prepare anything, but you feel like, why not do it? It's more like the why not do it? Let's just do it now. Let's just do it today. Let's stop planning, stop worrying, just stop and do it. That kind of feeling.
Oh, we only live once.
A little bit, yeah, only live once. It's the connotation or the emotion is not that strong yet. Definitely you're trying to convince yourself or the other party that you're talking to do something like right now.
Okay, this is something I feel like many friends group go through when they all wanted to do something, but they keep pushing the days, and someone has to say, let's just do it now because...
Yes, that's exactly the kind of moments or situations where you would want to use this word. For example, I can say, 既然大家都有空，择日不如撞日，我们今天就去郊游吧。
Since everybody now is free, there is no time like the present. Let's go on a trip today.
Exactly. That's how you do it. 择日不如撞日. And here in our dialogue, definitely we're talking about something that we want to do right now. And the something is to try the hanfu or having that experience. That is why then we have the word 今天.
Today.
就.
Then.
来.
Comes.
Yeah, it is kind of come, but it's kind of like you should come to the situation that I set out for you and we do this thing together. So I always imagine this 来 as a relatively metaphorical way of come because you're not asking someone to come to your geological or physical place. You're saying you should come into this situation that I planned for the both of us.
Okay, come to the experience.
Yes, come to the experience. And 体验 is experience. 体验 experience.
体验.
一下.
A little to soften the tone.
Yes. So 今天就来体验一下吧. Ba at the end of the sentence.
Ba.
Ba at the end of the sentence, meaning that we should do this. It's a suggestion. Then we have 好啊，再请化妆师给我画一个漂亮的唐妆.
Sure. I will have a makeup artist create a beautiful Tang Dynasty look for me.
Yes. So 好啊.
Wow. 好啊, sure, of course.
Yes. 在.
在 again, or I'll have to?
Actually, 在 in itself is definitely again. Yet we often see 在 being used as moreover.
Okay, moreover.
Yes. And 请.
请 to ask to.
To ask to, please. 化妆师.
Oh, huàzhuāngshī. This is an important word that I didn't know. Makeup artist.
Makeup artist. We would know 化妆 is the makeup. 化 is kind of like the verb kind of character in the word 化妆 because 妆 is the makeup part, the noun makeup. So to put on makeup, that's 化妆. And 师 is a master, so a makeup artist, a makeup master. 化妆师.
huàzhuāngshī.
给我给.
To create for me, to give me?
Actually, if we're looking at the character 给 for itself, it's definitely 给 to give. Yet here it is actually used as a proposition. It can mean for, as in everything I do it for you. 我做的一切都是给你做的, like for you, the kind of for, 给你, for you. And you can also think of it as the meaning give. We talked about 给, give. So I give the service to you. I give something to somebody. And the meaning of 给 is very similar to 为 in Chinese. But 给 is more informal than 为. And there are many cases where it's simply based on convention and general practice to decide to use one or the other. So you kind of have to remember all the different correlations and different ways of saying it. For example, I can say 给客人倒茶.
Pour the tea for the guests.
Yes, exactly. So 客人 is the guest, 倒茶 is pour tea, and 给客人 to or for the guest. So the idea is we always put 给 in front of the recipient of the verb, and you know who are you giving the service to or giving the thing to.
Oh, Oh, okay. So it's actually for, it's better than to give, but it could have the same meaning.
Yeah, because if you think about to give, you think of a verb. But 给 here in these sentences are actually used as a preposition, which is why for is easier for you to remember how to use it. Maybe not the meaning, but at least how to use it.
Yes, maybe that's just a thought that I had. It's also better to say, I pour tea for you rather than I just give you tea.
Yes, definitely. So that's 给. 我 is I.
给.
画
to paint.
To paint. 一个
One.
Actually, we can say put on one makeup. It actually is just one time of makeup because once you remove the makeup and wash your face, of course, it's just one time of makeup. So 画一个漂亮
Very beautiful.
Beautiful. 漂亮的唐妆
Tang Dynasty.
Yes, Tang Dynasty look. We talked about Hanfu being the umbrella term, and definitely there are different styles from different ethnic groups, from different dynasties. And the Tang is the Tang Dynasty, which is very famous, a very gorgeous dynasty in Chinese history, and Tangzhuāng is the Tang style look. The Tang style look, in my understanding, it's majestic, it's very welcoming, and it's really elegant. Because there are definitely other types of makeup. Some of the makeup style from different dynasties, they can be very quiet and gentle and tender, but the Tang Dynasty is, in my opinion, beautiful in almost an aggressive way.
Okay. So it's a lot. I don't know how to say it, but in a good way.
In a good way, yes. So 唐妆
Tangzhuāng.
一定很出片
It will definitely look very good in photos.
Yes. So 一定
For sure, definitely.
很
Very.
出片儿
To look amazing or good in pictures.
This is funny because definitely 出片儿 was not a word, or at least not a very easy to use and trendy and everybody understand kind of word. Because if you think about the history of camera, it's not that long. And if you think about the history of smartphones, which basically means that you can take photos with your phone, which also makes everybody a photographer, it also is the kind of short history that our generation started to experience, which is why taking pictures was not a thing in, let's say, 30, 40 years ago. It's not that popular, that common. Everyone knows how to do it and everyone does it kind of situation, which comes back to the opinion we mentioned so many times here on Takeaway Chinese, that is language evolves and language grows.
Absolutely.
New words happen almost every day, and for different generations of people, words are different because they live in different world and they need different words to describe the world they live in. 一定很出片. So 出片 is the word we're talking about here. 出片一定很出片. 出片 Yes. So 出 is to get out, and the 片 is the 照片, the picture or the photo. So the term originally refers to the process of producing or releasing a piece of media content, such as a film, television show, music album, or other forms of digital media. It literally translates to produce a piece or release a piece. So out a piece, one final product out. And this term is widely used in the entertainment industry and among content creators. But now, definitely, it is a buzzword. Young people like to use it to mean this place is really beautiful. If you take a photo here, then out of the 100 photos you took, actually, you can find the 10 perfect ones that you actually need, and that would be your final product. And that ratio is the kind of ratio I'm happy about. Or the scenario that you're wearing this so beautiful hanfu and makeup, you look gorgeous wherever. And all of the photos I take would be really good. They can be considered as the final product that I produce. That is why we're using this Chinese word, 出片 or 出片.
Oh, as you said, I think it's something that we use every day. sometimes there's situations or you dress in a certain way where you don't even have to struggle to take a good picture at all.
Yes.
And I'm really surprised we don't have this word because I would use it a lot.
You should create it and create a word in English and also in French and in Italian. You're just so talented, by the way. And then it'll be trendy among young people.
Oh, that you're giving me ideas.
So that's the conversation. Do you have any questions?
No, you cleared it all.
All right, let's try it out. 哇，这里的汉服都好美啊！我一直都很想试试穿汉服。
那择日不如撞日，今天就来体验一下吧。
好啊，再请化妆师给我画一个漂亮的唐妆。
一定很出片。
You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Niu Honglin, and Georgia Massette. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. Coming up next, I will tell you more about the beautiful Chinese styles and makeups. Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Georgia Massette for today's show. So, Georgia, do you know anything about Chinese style makeup and clothing and styling and anything related to it?
Actually, I wanted to say that traditional Hanfu, but also some makeup, it's becoming very popular in Europe. It's been throughout the years, but I feel like especially in these years, it's something that I've been noticing. For example, there's a trend about pearl makeup, where especially between young girls that go to festivals, music festivals, and want to have this nature look and pearly looking of the Tang Dynasty. And I see it in so many persons, and it's so nice to look at and see how, well, traditional Chinese makeup is being appreciated and taken and brought to Europe.
I love that. Actually, pearl makeup or 珍珠妆 of Song Dynasty is the kind of look that I have always wanted to try and haven't yet. Next time, that's my next thing. Because to do a good pearl makeup, people often place pearls on both sides of the cheeks in a long strip shape. The curved design especially narrows the width of women's cheeks, something I need, similar in many ways to the contouring techniques used in modern makeup. And this method visually reduces the width of the cheeks, achieving a slimming effect. And also with pearls are really popular these days, and such makeup is particularly suitable for enhancing one's appearance when wearing luxurious Hanfu attire in daily life. And if you take a look at people with this 珍珠妆, this pearl makeup, you get to see that they use pearl to stick on their face and to use it as accessory, as earrings, and it's all very elegant. With this type or this style of makeup, you feel like a princess. Sometimes you want to be a queen, but sometimes you want to be a princess, and this is the princess go-to.
As I love this kind of makeup. I think I saw it in a festival. A girl was wearing very nice pearls on the side of the cheeks, and I asked her, and she told me she was very conscious about where it came from and that she was wearing Song Dynasty makeup, but she looked so ethereal. It's something that I want to reproduce as well.
Yes. And also recently, another quite popular traditional Chinese makeup and clothing style is 簪花. Have you ever heard of it? 簪花.
No, I've never heard of it.
It actually refers to the traditional Chinese practice of adorning the hair with flowers, typically involving the use of a hairpin to secure the flowers in place. And there are so many different types of flowers that can be used. We're talking about peony, 牡丹 symbolizes wealth, honor and prosperity. We're talking about lotus, for example. 莲花 represents purity and elegance. And of course, you can use chrysanthemum. That's very tasty if you're drinking it as tea, but it also looks very beautiful. It is associated with longevity and resilience, and orchid is another choice. It symbolizes refinement and nobility, and with all these flowers coming together, it's kind of like a flower arrangement on your head as a hat, as a hairpiece. And this practice of zhanhua has a history of over 2,000 years. It was especially prominent during the Tang Dynasty. Women often wore fresh flowers in their hair during festivals, ceremonies, and other special occasions. And I'm very lucky that I had tried it once with the traditional, clothing and the flowers on my head. And I had a picture on my social media account, Niu Chinese. If you want to, you can go check it out. It was a fun experience.
You would look so good, I'm sure of it. I have to check it out.
Thank you. And apart from zhanhua, another element or style I do want to mention is the 马面裙, the 马面 skirt. Have you seen it?
I've seen it, and I have to say that it looks effortlessly very elegant on everyone who's wearing it.
Yes, and actually the skirt typically has 4 flat panels, if you haven't heard of it or seen it. It sometimes has 2 also. They are not pleated, located at the front, back, and sometimes the side. And between the flat panels and the pleated sections that add volume and movement to the skirt. So the skirt can be either knee length or full length, depending on the specific style and the period. And the skirt can be made from various materials, including silk, cotton, and all different types of materials. And the choice of fabric often reflects the wearer's social status and the occasion.
I feel like traditional hanfu or even makeup, it's so nice to look at because it has many layers. So we could stop at just admiring, but then we can go deeper and see how the fabric, if someone is a connoisseur, what the fabric is, so we can know the social status or even what the person is trying to express through different flowers in their heads. And having so many layers and making it so deep in meaning is something that we've lost a little, and I'm so happy it's coming back.
Yes, it's coming back, and let alone 旗袍 being one of the most iconic look for Chinese people. And now we are embracing more and more different styles, and with all these different choices, young people are also expressing themselves in different ways and expressing their love towards their own culture. I always find it heartwarming and fun. And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Niu Honglin with Georgia Massette. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column podcast. You can also listen to the show and read the script there. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. Don't forget to leave your questions, comments, and ratings. 感谢收听，我们下次再见。
Goodbye everyone, it was so lovely. I had such a good time. See you soon. 再见。